4 years the Jewish boy abode in Temple Jagannath. One day he sat among the priests and said to them, "Pray, tell me all about your views of caste. Why do you say that all men are not equal in the sight of God?" A master of their laws stood forth and said, "The Holy One whom we call Brahm, made men to suit himself, and men should not complain." In the beginning days of human life Brahm spoke, and 4 men stood before his face. Now, from the mouth of Parabrahm the first man came, and he was white, was like the Brahm himself, a Brahmin he was called. And he was high and lifted up, above all want he stood, he had no need of toil. And he was called the priest of Brahm, the Holy One to act for Brahm in all affairs of earth. The second man was red, and from the hand of Parabrahm he came, and he was called Kshatriya. And he was made to be the king, the ruler and the warrior, whose highest ordained duty was protection of the priest. And from the inner parts of Parabrahm the third man came, and he was called a Visya. He was a yellow man, and his it was to till the soil, and keep the flocks and herds. And from the feet of Parabrahm the fourth man came, and he was black, and he was called the Sudras, one of low estate. The Sudras is the servant of the race of men. He has no rights that others need respect. He may not hear the Vedas read, and it means death to him to look into the face of priest, or king, and naught but death can free him from his state of servitude. And Jesus said, "Then Parabrahm is not a God of justice and of right, for with his own strong hand, he has exalted one and brought another low." And Jesus said no more to them, but looking up to heaven he said, "My Father God, who was, and is, and evermore shall be, who holds within thy hands the scales of justice and of right, who in the boundlessness of love, has made all men to equal be. The white, the black, the yellow, and the red can look up in thy face and say, Our Father God. Thou Father of the human race, I praise thy name." And all the priests were angered by the words which Jesus spoke. They rushed upon him, seized him, and would have done him harm. But then Lammas raised his hand and said, "You priests of Brahm, beware. You know not what you do, wait till you know the God this youth adores. I have beheld this boy at prayer when light above the light of the sun surrounded him. Beware. His God may be more powerful than Brahm. If Jesus speaks the truth, if he is right, you cannot force him to desist. If he is wrong and you are right, his words come to naught, for right is might, and in the end it will prevail." And then the priests refrained from doing Jesus harm, but one spoke out and said, "Within this holy place has not this reckless youth done violence to Parabrahm? The law is plain, it says, he who reviles the name of Brahm shall die." Lammas pled for Jesus' life, and then the priests just seized a scourge of cords and drove him from the place. And Jesus went his way and found shelter with the black and yellow men, the servants and the tillers of the soil. To them he first made known the gospel of equality. He told them of the brotherhood of man, the fatherhood of God. The common people heard him with delight, and learned to pray, "Our Father God who art in heaven,